Hi, it's Chester at Blue Pecan Computer Training, and in this video we're going to look at how to add up times in Excel. So I've got a timesheet here, and the first thing to notice is how you enter times in Excel. I've got hours and minutes here, and hours are separated from the minutes with a colon. You can also include seconds. I'll put 15 seconds in there. If the seconds don't show once you've pressed enter, then you can just go up to the drop-down list of formats. This is on the Home tab of your ribbon, and select the time formatting option as shown in the menu. We're actually not going to include seconds in that time though. Okay, so times are numbers stored in Excel. You can see that they are numbers because the values are right aligned within the cells. To give you a clue of how this works, if I select midday, and I remove the time format back to general, no specific format, you can see that what is actually stored in the cell is a decimal value, 0.5. Halfway through a 24-hour period, this is 0.333 reoccurring, a third of the way through the 24-hour period. Therefore, because they are numbers, we can do calculations with them. So if I take the clocked out time and subtract the clocked in time, I will get the time worked, and if I copy this down, I will do so for each day in my timesheet. To add the times up, I can use the auto sum function. Home tab of my ribbon, auto sum, select the times I want to add up, click on enter, and I get a result that obviously isn't correct. Now, this is a formatting issue. The time format doesn't exceed 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. Once it gets to that, it starts to go round the 24-hour clock again. Now, to solve this problem, you actually need to change the format that is applied to the cell. If we right-click on the cell and go to Format Cells, what you want to do is go to the Custom category. You can see the current format that is applied to the cell. Yours may be slightly different, but we can delete whatever is in the type box. What you want to do is start with an open square bracket, then type your 2 H's for hours, close the square bracket, colon, then 2 M's for your minutes, and then if you want to include seconds, colon, 2 S's. If I click on OK, you can see it's added up the times correctly. You can also calculate the total time worked as a number rather than as a time value, and that would be useful if you're working out the weekly salary based on this timesheet. So at the moment, let's use this value to work out the weekly pay packet. I take the hourly rate and multiply it by our time value. You can see that you end up with very cheap labor. Now, to convert this to an actual number, what we need to do is take the time and multiply by 24 hours in a day. Then you need to format that value as a number, and you can see 33.25 corresponds to 33 hours 15 minutes. So if I take my hourly rate and multiply it by the numeric equivalent of this time, I get a proper weekly wage packet. You can also work out the total minutes worked. If I sum up the times worked again, format cells. What we're going to do in this instance is delete what's in the type box and in square brackets put our 2 M's. And that is all you need, just the 2 M's in square brackets, and that's the total time worked in minutes. Okay, now let's look at a slightly different situation where we have a series of hashes for Friday. And if I hover over these hashes, it gives me an indication of the problem. Dates and times that are negative or too large show as hashes. Well, the hashes are showing in this instance because we're calculating a negative time. We're actually finishing on the Saturday, starting on the Friday. Now you can solve this problem mathematically by adding 1 because this is on the next day. You see that it correctly calculates the time worked. What you then have, though, is inconsistent formula in your column. To get the consistency back, you can use an if statement. So we can say if clocked out is greater than clocked in, then perform this calculation here. Otherwise, perform the other calculation, which is clocked out minus clocked in plus a day. And then if I copy this down, get the same answers, but I've got consistent formulas. Another way around this is to actually enter the day and the time into a cell. And you'll notice the way to do this is to enter the date, then leave a space, then enter the time. So when I get down to Friday's clocked in time, it starts on the 30th of April, but I clock out on the 1st of May, and that means that this formula here doesn't calculate a negative value because it knows that this time is on the following day. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this particular video. Hopefully that's been useful to you. If it has, please subscribe and I'll see you next video.